Hello and welcome. Sorry.
ASMR channel. I'm just kidding.
Millie's eating. We got corn dogs from Mochi Nut, but she's already started eating because she's really, really hungry.
Yeah.
But welcome to episode 5 of Brownie Banter.
It's 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay.
So for today's topic, we are going to be talking about Indian brown men.
Yeah.
And like their toxic traits. You have a little crumb. And like,
Is it gone?
yeah. And their toxic traits and kind of just like our experience with them and our experience with non-Indian men and how kind of their mannerisms like differ.
Yeah. And also like
I'm gonna take a
we
bite
wanted
now.
to talk about our specific types of men that we are interested in, and I feel like we're different but we're similar in that aspect.
I feel like
you
we
know?
used to have the same type, but now it's like a little bit different.
I've noticed, like, physical wise, we don't have the same type, but attributes and qualities,
Yeah.
I feel like we're looking for, like, the same type of guy. What that mouth do? That's fat, bro. Like, look at that. Holy shit.
Real good.
You know what?
You want a bite?
No.
Okay.
Something about, like, raw ramen, just, like, I don't know.
No, it's fried. The crunch. It's good.
Not bad. Okay. Anyway. Oh my god, this is so bad. We're like talking with our mouth full.
I know. Okay.
You go, I'm still chewing.
Okay, so I guess I can start off with what my type used to be and what my type is now. When I was in high school, I was really like, I think I just went for like the typical like fuckboy. Like the first guy that I was like really, really into. Okay, well, the first guy I was ever into was like Indian, and it was in like 8th grade, but I don't really count that. Like when I finally like started to figure out my type, I think that was in high school. And basically, I liked like this kid. He was Palestinian. He was like Arabic. And I think that was like my first ever kind of type. It was like Arabic guys. But he was like the typical fuck boy, like this haircut with like the little spike the line, the way he dressed, like bomber jacket. Like he just looked like, you know, like Zayn Malik vibes from like 2013. So like that was like the vibe that I like, the type I went for. And then once I got into college, I kind of like started to realize, I think this goes like back to like our episode about the culture. Like when I started becoming more cultural, I kind of like liked that. I like wanted a man that was also kind of cultural. Like that kind of,
Yeah.
I felt like Indian guys, well, obviously like, not compared. What is it called? Like, I can't think of the word. Like, I can't think. What's the word?
What are you even trying to say?
Like not compared, like they resonate with me. Like they
understand you.
yeah, they like understand me, but there's a word for it. But anyway,
sympathize.
yeah, like not like sympathize, but they understand like more
It's
of like how the
resonate.
I think I was that's what I was looking for. Like they resonate more with like the brown culture. They like know how brown parents
Relate?
are. Yeah, relate. I really could not think of a word.
I love
but-
how resonate is more complicated than relate.
I know, we couldn't think of it. But yeah, no, they would just relate to me more because, like, obviously they're brown, they come from brown families, like, stuff like
Yeah.
that. So when I got into college, it was, like, more brown men, and I would, like gear towards, I
I know.
maneuver towards the brown men.
We need to get you a
But-
fucking dictionary.
I can't think today.
With thesaurus.
Literally can't think today. But then now I'm like weird. Like I don't know, because I think we had this experience.
Okay, wait, before she gets into that. So,
Okay,
like,
yeah. Let
so,
Millie
like,
go, and then I'll
my-
talk about that.
My type is white boys, like, all the way.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you used to be into brown boys.
Yeah, well, see, that was when I was, like...
Remember
Well, no, I know, but
Sebastian?
I wouldn't really call that, like... I don't think he was my type. I think I was just so excited because I never got attention from a guy.
Yeah.
So I didn't really care who it was. And then as I started getting a little bit older... and you know, I started glowing up a little. I started realizing
Your
like,
first ex-boyfriend too.
yeah, but that was around the same time.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't really consider that like a type. It was just like I was getting attention from him, you know? And then I started, you know, getting more into the physical aspects of men because I was getting older and, you know, I was like a little bit more curious too. And I was like, what about white boys, you know? And in my mind, you know, my parents were so strict, so I'm like, oh, like never in a million years would they be okay with that. And then come to find out, like, they're fine with it. They've always been fine with it. I was just scared. But I think I started realizing, like, I'm into, like, the pretty white boys. Like, the ones that look like they're gonna sue you if you touch them,
But-
you know?
But they're not, like, I feel like with your guys too, it's not like they're complete pretty either. Like,
No, they're not.
They have like a hint of, like, I don't want to say ugly.
Don't say that. It's
have
not
a
ugly.
hint.
It's like they look
They have
look-
a hint of
they
natural
look
in them.
attainable. That's like it's outside. There's a bug.
Guys.
They look attainable. Like it's not like they're super fucking
Yeah, it's
sexy
like they're
where-
like too hot.
Yeah, it's not like they're too hot.
Where
It's
you
like-
feel like insecure.
Exactly.
Like,
It's like they're attainable.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it doesn't make me feel insecure, but they have pretty faces, you know?
Yeah.
Like cut, that kind of look.
like blonde hair, blue eyes.
Yeah, well that or like tall, dark, handsome.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that too. So it's weird. I just need someone who gives me like that assertive, like I'm a man type
Yeah.
of vibe.
Is it
you
funny
know?
we're talking about men where we're eating corn dogs?
Good thing there's no wiener in there.
We don't like wieners. We like big, fat corn dogs.
You were gonna say something else. Sorry, mommy. Oh my god. Anyways. Mine's fat, dude. Look at this thing. It's like fat. It's insane.
You want to see our corn dog?
Oh, sorry, we're filming in a park, and there's hella people, and we're parked like in reverse. So we're facing where people are walking, and they're literally staring. Everyone's
I
staring.
needed the lighting, you know?
Yeah, this lighting's phenomenal. Anyways,
Okay,
as
go
I was
on.
saying,
Yeah.
So my type has kind of been the same, honestly. Like just tall, dark, handsome, fit, you know. And I love how like I'm not fit anymore, but like I still want a fit guy. But
Yeah,
it's
same. Like,
fine.
make me fit, bitch.
Yeah, literally,
Make me
it's
fit.
like-
Take me to the gym with you and lift me, bitch. Don't, no weights. Me, I'm the weight.
Like if I were to meet someone or talk to someone that's super in shape, I think it would motivate me, honestly.
Yeah.
You
But
know
it was
what I mean?
also like scare me a little bit. I don't know, guys that are too muscular, they scare me a little bit. Like
Like
I don't know if I can do.
bodybuilders?
Yeah, I don't know if I can do too muscular, but at the same time, like
See, I'm okay with it.
it's like a hit or miss for me.
I need you to look lean though too. Like I can't have you looking like the fucking Hulk.
We're horrible, but
Like it's just like too like bulky. I don't like someone that looks normal. Not normal. That's the wrong word. I'm just like not. It's fine.
yeah, you get
You
what she
get what I'm
means.
saying. I just am very picky, and I think that's why I'm single. And
Same.
I've learned though, I'm like trying to get out of my comfort zone when it comes to guys that I normally would go for. You know what I mean? Because I feel like because I've just been so set on one type, I'm missing out on so many guys.
Yeah.
And I think that, when I'm on Hinge or Bumble, my instinct is to swipe left.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking, I'm like, wait, actually.
We were like
know?
talking about this. I mean, I was telling her, I was like, I've realized I think I like don't want to do dating apps anymore because when I go on dating apps, I literally just look at their pictures. I don't even read anything that they write. Like sometimes I will if it's like interesting.
See, I read now.
Yeah,
before
like
did.
I read now, but even then, like I also base it off of looks. Whereas like when you meet someone in person, it's like more their vibe that you get from them. Like
That's true.
it's more like how they hold themselves and you can see that and you can like interact with it rather than, oh, that's a photo of them. That's my type. Like swipe right. Like, whereas like if I met like some of the guys that I meet in like real life and I talk to them outside, I would never probably swipe on them on a dating app if I saw pictures of them. Like if I went on a date recently with this guy. And I met him at a club, like I met him at Slate, and if I saw him on, like, I was looking through his Instagram pictures and I was thinking, I was like, if I saw him on like Hinge, I probably would have never swiped right because he's not my typical type.
Yeah.
But the way he like carried himself at the club and shit, like that's what made me attracted to him.
Like, that's sexy.
Yeah.
So,
but-
anyways, on to our story.
Oh yeah. So we have a little, kind of like a story time for you guys.
We basically had a mutual awakening because of this experience.
Yeah. So we were out at Slate. Slate's just the place for me. Maybe I'll put my husband at Slate. But we actually went to PhD. We were supposed to go to Marquee, and Marquee was all sold out. So we ended up going to PhD, and I have a promoter there, and he was like getting us like bottles and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And we went and we were like chilling. But the thing with PhD is that it's like all tables. So like there's no like dance floor or anything. You're just at a table with like random people.
And you're like you're restricted to that table.
Yeah, like you can't really like move around and stuff.
Yeah.
So we did, like, if you were with a bigger group, okay, fine, like a birthday or something, like it's fun. Like, don't get me wrong, the
Yeah.
music's like great, but it was just us two and like random people, so we didn't really know them. So we were like, okay, like let's just like go and
Go to Slate. Are you okay?
sorry, no. I was just making sure. But yeah, so I was like, let's just go to Slate. Like we'll drink a little bit here, like get our free liquor, and then we'll go to Slate. So we went to Slate, and then we're like walking around. We like just entered, and we're like walking around. I was walking in front of Millie, and I like look to my left, and there's this tall, like, keep in mind, like I used to be into white boys, and I had my bad experience with them. Like I just feel like some of them come off. I don't want to say, well, like the one experience I had, it was just, he was racist. Like,
Yeah.
you know, like they're like embarrassed to be with you if they're like conservative and like shit like that.
He was like redneck type.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't like white boys like that. But whatever. So I walk in and I look to like my left, and there's this guy, and he's like leaning against like the little pillar in the middle of the dance floor. And I literally go back to Millie. I'm like, Millie, that guy over there is so
And the
hot.
funny thing is, I was thinking the same thing, but about his friend.
Yeah, and his friend was like standing in front of him.
So, and I was gonna tell her about him, and then she told me about the guy that she saw. I was like, wait, that guy is really cute. And then we figured out they were friends, and then
Yeah, so like basically, and then I was like, oh, you think he's cute? And then I was like, I need my ticket in to talk to the other guy. So I literally went to the guy that she thought was cute, and I was like, my cousin thinks you're cute. And then he was like, oh, really? And then he's like, oh, she's cute or whatever. So I was like, oh yeah, here you go. And I like pulled her.
she like pulled me. I was like, thanks.
I pulled her, and then they started like dancing or whatever. And then like, okay, but the thing is that the only way I approach a guy is if like I know with like eye contact. Like, you know, like you make that eye contact and you just know. Like you just know. And I was making heavy eye contact with the guy that was like leaning against the wall. So I was like, oh, okay. So like then I started talking to him, and then we were just like dancing or whatever. Wait,
We're gonna call him Simba.
no, why Simba? Oh.
This bitch. This fucking bitch. Did it get your gears going?
Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna call him Simba, and we're gonna call her guy Dolphin.
Call him Nemo.
Okay, we'll call him Nemo. Simba, Nemo, and then there was like a third friend with them. His name can be Tom.
Tom.
Tom is a very sweet guy, okay? We didn't, you know, like, whatever. He was just like, he was there. Anyway, so we start like dancing with them or whatever, and then this one finds out that Nemo has a girlfriend. So she like pulls me and she's like, Melanie, Nemo has a girlfriend. And I'm like, oh shit. So then she's like, can we just go? Like, can we like please like go? And I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine.
And the reason why I wanted to leave was because I found out after, and obviously like I'm dancing with him, and you know, we're having a great time.
Mm-hmm.
And then I found out, and I felt so bad and so uncomfortable. So I was like, I just want to go. Like, I don't want to be here right now. Like, let's just go, you know? And so we ended up going to the bar, and then, well, actually, before we met them, we took a shot.
Yeah, this is a very crucial part of our story.
Yeah, so this is a very important part, okay?
We took a Jaeger bomb shot.
We took a Jaeger bomb before we met them, okay?
Wait, before? Like, after?
No, it was before. And then we took another one after.
Yeah.
And so we went up to the bar after I found out that he had a girlfriend, and I basically told her, like, I feel uncomfortable and I don't want to,
Oh, wait, we forgot, like, one important part. Like, obviously, we, like, talked to them before we started dancing with them, and they were like, oh, we're from Germany.
Yeah,
They're from Germany. So they're German. They weren't American. So that, like, kind of, like, changed my mind.
Yeah, and they had accents, and
yeah,
I
it
was
was
like,
just, they were sexy.
full package, right? And so, I felt
Yo,
uncomfortable.
they're gonna listen to this, and they're gonna be like, what the fuck? Anyway, go on.
We love you.
We love you. We miss you guys.
Yeah, we're gonna come see you.
Yes, soon, hopefully.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So after we walked away from them, I told her, I was like, he has a girlfriend. I feel uncomfortable. I don't want to do that. Blah blah blah. And then she was like fucking obsessed with him. Okay. Fucking obsessed. And I started.
I wasn't obsessed.
You were obsessed.
I was just in lust.
I started getting a little irritated because she's like, okay, let's find you a guy. And I was like, I don't want to look for a guy right now. Like, I was upset, and I was like, and then I was like, he was so hot, and he has a fucking girlfriend.
I just felt bad because I'm like a girl's girl at the end of the day, and I'm not gonna leave my friend just because I like
And then-
want a guy, you know? So I'm like, let me find her a guy.
And then she just wanted to stick me with anyone so she could go back to fucking Simba.
It wasn't
okay?
anyone. I was
No,
asking
and
you.
then
I was
she-
like,
no, it
no,
felt
I asked her. I was like,
no.
who do you
This
think
is
is
what it
cute?
felt like. It felt like one of those movie scenes where you're like, oh, you want this one? And then you like threw him out. You're like, what about this one? And I was like, dude.
I was just
Bro.
like drunk at this point.
She was hammered. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to settle. Fine. This guy's cute, whatever. And so then we're dancing.
No, wait, you.
What was that noise?
So we were at the bar right after like she got like she got a little butthurt, like whatever. So we got to the bar, and we're like at that point. No, when we got to the bar, I wasn't even set on him. I was just like, oh, let's find like other guys. Like it's fine, like whatever.
Yeah.
But then literally like the bar is here, and he's all the way across the room, and he locks eyes with me, and then he goes, "Come here." So I was like, Millie.
Yeah. So then I was like, you know what? Fine, whatever. Go.
Yeah. So yeah.
So then I was just standing there and I'm talking to fucking Nemo while she's dancing with.
No, you weren't talking to Nemo.
Yes, I was.
No, you were.
Yes, I was.
You were
Well,
dancing with.
No.
with
I was
Manoj.
dancing. I was dancing.
with
I was
Manoj.
dancing with him, and then I didn't want to be around him anymore. So then I started talking to Nemo while you were dancing with Simba.
Oh, okay. So basically, afterwards, we found her another man. He was Indian. His
It was
name was
fine.
Manoj.
I settled. It's
Yeah,
fine,
we're just gonna call him Manoj. But
He was
anyway,
okay.
yeah, he was okay
He was
enough
like
for you to.
Listen, I was drunk and I was a little bit jealous. So, bye. Goodbye.
Okay, so
It
anyway,
wasn't even that good. I rated it like a 4.
mine was a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, and then at bar, we're gonna talk about that later.
Okay, anyway, so going on with the story. So we're at this point, like she started talking to Nemo, and then she was like, okay, I want to like dip. So I was like, okay, bet, like whatever. And keep in mind, like I was drunk. But even then, like, that whole entire moment to me just felt magical. Like, I was explaining to my friend the next day. This is gonna sound like I'm a psychopath.
No,
it's
no,
not. It was
I
just,
get
like,
it.
in the moment, like, I was, like,
No,
drunk.
I
And it
felt
was, like,
that too, just later than you.
yeah. So, like, basically, like, we were literally, like, head touching and, like, singing a song. And it felt like the whole entire world around us was, like, not there. And it was just, like, us. And we were just, like, dancing.
Yeah.
But then she, like, pulled me and she was, like, I'm, like, like, I want to leave. So I was, like, okay, bet. Like, it's already, like, 2:33 a.m. So let's just, like, dip anyway. So then I, like, got his number, which didn't even work.
Yeah,
He was
because he
from
didn't have
Germany.
service.
Yeah,
I was
and
like,
he
buddy,
needed
you-
Wi-Fi.
I was like, you came here and you didn't even get data plan? Like, come on.
Yeah. So basically, like, we went outside and then she was like, I'm hungry. Like, I want to eat. So I was like, okay, bet. And I was like, wait, do you care if I tell them to come, like, to get pizza?
And
or
I was like,
whatever?
no, like, that's fine.
Yeah, and she was like,
totally-
honestly, like, I don't care, I just want food. So I was like, okay, bet. So then I told them to come, and he was like, I like Instagram DM'd him because
Yeah.
he had Wi-Fi in the club, but he didn't like my message wouldn't go through to him because he didn't have like whatever like the plan for America. So so then they came out, and then we all went to get pizza together. Like us and then the 3 guys. And we were kind of just like talking, but it was like funny because they were talking in like German. Like obviously they spoke English, but like they were also like talking in German, and then me and her were talking Gujarati because
Yeah.
like we were like, okay,
We
well,
felt
what are we
left
doing?
out.
Yeah.
So we were like, why do you guys get to know what we're saying? So,
Yeah. So then I was like drunk at this point. So I was like, oh, like how long are you guys staying for? Like what have you seen? Like blah blah blah. And they were just like telling us, oh, like we're staying until like Thursday.
Yeah, and then
We've seen...
I was like, let's go to Bar A.
Yeah,
on
and then
Tuesday.
she goes, let's go to, have you guys ever been to like Jersey Shore? And they were like, no, we only been to like Coney Island. So she was like, okay, like let's take you guys to like Bar A because that's like Jersey Shore. It's like fun bars, like stuff. And they're like, okay, like we're down. Like they were literally down for anything. And
they
it was
had nothing
like,
to do, so
yeah.
whatever.
And then I was like, yeah. And then if you guys want like tomorrow, because that was Saturday. So like the next day was Sunday. So I was like, oh, tomorrow, like if you guys want, I can show you around like Central Park and stuff. So then they were like, oh, bet, like, yeah, sure. Like I'm like, we're down for that. So then whatever. So then we kind of just like left. And then the next day he like hit me up on Instagram and then he was like, oh, like, are you still down to show us around? So I was like, oh, like, honestly, like I'm down. But if you guys want, I can show you like the Jersey side and I can show you Jersey City because I like lived there at the time. And they were like, honestly, like, bet, like I'm down. And my friend.
Oh, and wait, pause. Mind you, at this point, I thought Nemo wasn't interested in me at all because because he had a girlfriend and I was very respectful and I told him like, listen, I'm not gonna like cross the line or anything. I respect the fact that you have a girlfriend. I respect your relationship. Blah blah blah. Right? And then we just didn't like really. We didn't do anything after that. We didn't dance or anything. And so I'm over here thinking, oh, like he like was uncomfortable. He didn't want to. Blah blah blah. He wasn't interested in me like that because of his girlfriend. So I left it alone. And then she tells me, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. I was going to get to that part.
Yeah. Go.
Okay, so basically, like, my friend hit me up, and she was like, oh, like, oh, do you want to go to Smorgasburg? Like, her and her friend wanted to go. So I was like, oh, like, I'm down. But do you care if, like, these German men come that we met yesterday? Because I was going to show them around. She was like, honestly, like, I don't care. Like, bring them. Like, whatever. So then they came, and we all went to Smorgasburg, and it was, like, so fun. Like, they're just, like, a good time. Like, they were, like, nice, like, sweet people. Like, a good time. But like 5 times the guy, I would be like, oh, like, we're still gonna go to Bar A, and Nemo was like, oh, is Millie coming? And like me and Simba would just look at each other and be like, oh, Millie, and we'd like make fun of him, and he's like, no, like, tell Millie, like, is Millie gonna still come? Like, tell her to come. So I was like, yo, Millie's coming, don't worry. So then that was that day. And then Monday, I didn't see them. Like, they were just doing their own thing, and I actually had a date that day.
Yeah, she had a date.
Yeah, I had another date. And then Tuesday came, that's when we were gonna go to Bar A, because Bar A has, like, this deal where it's, like, beat the clock, so, like...
50-cent beers.
Yeah, so they ended up coming to my place, and then my big Sahil, he drove us, and, sorry, pause, that girl looks like Talia, the one with the braid, but she, like, walked down.
Wow.
So, sorry.
ADHD?
Yeah, I have really bad ADHD. So he drove us, and then we, like, drove down, we met up with Millie, and it was just, like, a good time. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I know when someone gives bad vibes. I know when, guys are just, like, using you. But they weren't. Like, they were down for anything. They were sweet. And even at, like, one point...
There were so many girls coming up to them because they're so...
Yeah. Like, my guy was, like, tall, blue eyes, blonde hair. Like, all of them had blue eyes and blonde hair.
Yeah.
But, like, they would, like, go up to them and, I don't know, but they were, like, very respectful. Like, they didn't do anything we didn't want to do. Like, anything. Like, they were just, like, nice people.
And they kept following us around. And I thought that was really sweet. And, like, that's what we were saying. Like, the way that they kind of, their personalities, we're like, you guys are so sweet.
Yeah. And at one point, like, my big he had, like, he had, like, a family emergency. So he was like, oh, like, I think I may have to go. But if you guys, like, want to Uber, like, Uber. And they were like, no, like, we came together, we leave together. That's like a German like thing. Like whoever we come with, we leave with. Like that's what they just kept saying, and I was like, wow, like that just shows. And I feel like if it was a brown guy, he would have just been dipped. He'd be like, nah, I'm chilling. I'm getting bitches. Like I'm doing this.
Literally.
Like I'm getting drunk. Like you go deal with your family shit. Like shit like that. Like I just feel like foreign guys have so much more respect for women, for other people, than brown men. And I'm not saying all brown men, just the majority. Mm-hmm. But yeah.
No, the people that we've met.
Yeah. So do you want to explain your part of the story now? Mm-hmm. And then we can get to Pier 13.
So basically, what happened was, wait, my part of the story?
Yeah, like, just, you can tell your part. I was obviously with Simba the whole time. I was, like, chilling with him.
Yeah, so I was with Nemo. And listen, the This is a no judgment.
What happens in America stays in America, and on this podcast.
So basically, obviously I was pretty tipsy at Bar A, and we were in the club, and there were so many people, and I don't know about you guys, but whenever I'm in like a really crowded area and there's like rave type of music and lights flashing, everyone's just, it's like hot in there, you almost go into like a like a fucking
You get horny.
no you go into like this hypnotic like
Yeah.
state, like it's just
It's
like
like
the energy, it's almost like you're on ecstasy, like it's just that vibe, like you just get overwhelmed with it. And I got really overwhelmed, and I was just at that point where I like did not give a fuck. I didn't care about anything. Like I was like, I don't have a care in the world. And
yeah.
at this point, Nemo was getting very handsy, and I was okay with it, which is wrong. It's wrong. I don't support cheating. I don't support it at all. And in that situation, I think this is something I realized. I think this is like a flaw of mine. I recognized it. Is that if it doesn't affect me, I don't care. Like, that's not nice, in my opinion. So, I was sitting there, like, a couple days after, right? And I was just like, that was really mean of me. Like, I kept justifying it, like, he's the one with the girlfriend. I don't owe her shit. I'm like, that's fucked up.
Oh,
I was like, that was really fucked up. And
we all make mistakes.
yeah, and like in that moment, it was just, I got so caught up in the moment, and you know, he's from Germany, he has an accent, he's really handsome, and he was giving me undivided attention.
Yeah.
And that is something I'm not used to.
Can I just say, like, sorry to cut you off, but can I just say that even after the first day we met them, like, Millie called me and she was like, I don't think I'd be able to do this with any other fucking person, but it literally feels like we're in a movie. Like, we're tour guides for, like, a foreign, like, group of guys.
Yeah.
They're hot. Like, we're attracted to them. Like, it was, like, that whole week, we literally were on, like, cloud nine.
Yeah,
of,
we
like,
felt like we were just at ease. Like, I didn't have stress. I wasn't stressed about anything.
We did not care about
and
anything.
I was like, holy shit. And yeah, I was telling her, I was like, I can't imagine doing this with anyone else but you. Like, it would only be us to manage to find 3 Germans, and we each get one. Like, it was perfect.
Sorry, Tom. We love you.
Yeah,
He was
Tom-
like the sweetest fucking soul,
Tom
but he actually
has
had
a
girlfriend.
girlfriend. Yeah, I love how she says actually. Yeah, he was actually really sweet, and honestly, I wish like all men were like him. And as much fun as I had with Nemo, it gave me trust issues because I was like, holy fuck, like, man's got a girlfriend, and look what we're doing, you know. It was bad, but it was fun too, so I guess it was worth it. But anyways, so, you know, in that moment, I just got so caught up, and I was like, you know what, fuck it, whatever. And, you know, we started doing our little kissy kiss and dancing, and we had a moment, me and her both were having, like, strong eye contact, singing to our guy moments, and it was so...
And it wasn't even like, oh, just singing to a guy. No, it was like that house music that's like what's that like song?
Like,
that's
Swedish House Mafia. Like, don't you worry, child.
Yeah,
like that. Like, we were, like, looking into each other's eyes, and we were, like, vibing and singing with each other. And he was dancing with me. He twirled me, and I was like, oh, my God. Like, literally, I wanted to die in that moment. I was like, if I die right now, I'll die happy. Like, I'm not even kidding. And then we did that. And then when I was leaving, he was really sad. Because I didn't know that I was going to see them the next day. Because they were leaving the day after the next. So they were leaving on a Thursday. And this was a Tuesday night. And so I was under the impression that was going to be the last time I see them before they leave. Because I don't usually go out during the week. So even going to Bar A with them, that's something I don't do. And I did it because it was them. But yeah, so...
And that was my first time at Bar A.
Yeah,
I refused to go with my friends, but I was like, fuck it.
Yeah, we were like, fuck it, why not? But yeah, so I didn't know I was gonna see them the next day, and so I was like, bye, and he looked so sad. And I was like, damn, I almost cried, because I was like, I know you have a girlfriend and you're a fucking piece of shit, but I had so much fun with you.
Yeah. But I don't know where it cut off.
Yeah.
But he was
sad.
He was sad.
That we left, or that I left, and so...
We miss you guys a lot.
Unlock your laptop. Maybe that's why.
No, it's still recording.
Oh.
It's not connected to my laptop. Okay, go on.
Anyways, so yeah, so Then the next day, she texted me saying they were going to Pier 13.
I just wanted to like kind of like have like a goodbye.
Like a goodbye, like,
'Cause they were
hang
leaving,
out,
like, the
you know?
next day.
Yeah, they were leaving the next day, and like we were like, okay, let's, you know, it's not usually something I do, go out on a Wednesday night, but fuck it, why not? So I told her I would go, and then you want to finish it?
Okay, this is where shit gets
I love
crazy.
how this turned into a story time.
No, it literally is a story time.
Yeah, story time.
So this is where shit gets fucking insane. Okay.
For this.
So basically, we go to Pier 13, and Nemo was visiting like family, so he didn't come at first. So it was kind of just like Simba and Tom, and it was me, Millie, Simba, and Tom, and we get to Pier 13, and we're just like sitting, we're like playing games and stuff.
Wait, pause. Do you have ketchup?
Yeah. And then Nemo comes like a half an hour later.
Yeah. Should I explain this part?
I can explain it.
Okay.
And then you eat. So he comes, he sits down, we're playing a game or whatever, and like it was like chill, like fun, like wholesome, like really fucking wholesome. And then we are leaving. Okay, backstory. Remember like we talked in a previous episode about how me and her talked to a psychic. And the psychic was basically basically for our love life. Did we talk about the love life? So basically for our love life, what the psychic told me, she was like, you're gonna meet your soulmate this year. And it's going to be something with the name Hunter. She was like, either it's the street he lives on, either it's his brother's name, either it's his name, either he's a hunter versus a gatherer, just something with the word hunter. And then for her, she was like, for both of us, she was like, I want both of you to stay by the water. She goes, stay by the water this summer, go to the beach a lot. If you guys ever move, and I live by the water, like the waterfront in Jersey City, she was like, if you guys ever move in together or move together, wherever you go to Florida, California, just go somewhere by the water. And she was like, good things will come to you if you both of you stay by the water.
Canoeing.
Yeah. And then she was like, I see, like she said with her, she was like, I see you're not gonna see your soulmate right now. Like you're not gonna find your soulmate. That's gonna happen later on down the road, but you are gonna have a summer love. She was like, you're gonna have a summer love kind of like fling. She was like, he's gonna be really, really pretty, like gorgeous. And like, you're gonna like be in like lust with him basically. And she was saying like, oh my God, what is... One second, sorry. Okay, so basically, she was just like, and he's gonna be wearing, I see him wearing red shorts, bright red shorts, and he's gonna be putting a canoe on a car. She was like, it has something to do with kayak. No, she's a kayak. She was like, he's gonna be putting a kayak on a car. And she was like, it has something to do with kayaking, like whatever. So that's basically what the psychic said about us, right? So now we're at this Pier 13 place with the German men, and we get up to get our Uber to go back to my place. And Millie...
I grabbed her.
No, she grabbed my arm and she's like, Malini. And I go, what? She goes, look at Nebo. I look at him, bright red shorts. Bright fucking red shorts. And I'm just like, so I'm like shook at this time. I literally have goosebumps.
Yeah.
I literally get goosebumps, like straight goosebumps. And then Simba comes up to me. He's like, what happened? What happened? Like,
Yeah,
he's like
nosy.
No, but he's like funny as hell. And then he was like, what happened? What happened? What happened? So I was like, Millie, can I tell him? Can I tell him? So she was like, yeah, only him, only him. So I like pulled him to the side and I'm like talking to him or whatever. And then he was like, that's fucking wild.
Yeah.
He was like, that's wild because she even like during the game, because we were playing Cards Against Humanity, he was like, they kept picking each other's cards when there were judges. And I was like, oh my God, you like noticed this shit. Like I didn't even notice that. But yeah, he was just, he was like observant, like very observant.
Then we get back on like we get off the pier and we're like kind of by the main street, like where the Uber is, and we're just waiting because the Uber says it's going to be there in like 15 minutes. So we're waiting, and then I'm like kind of just sitting on the bench, and then I see this big ass sign hanging on top of the pier, and it said kayaking and canoeing.
Yeah.
On the
yeah,
sign.
and then
I literally was like, oh my, I was like, Molly, look at the sign, and she was like, shut the fuck up.
I was like,
shut the fuck up.
absolutely not.
And then I'm thinking, right? I'm like, what else? And
No,
then I was
not even that. So Simba came up to me and was like, what about you? Like, what did she say about you? So I was like, oh, she just said something about Hunter. And then he was like, Hunter? I was like, yeah, is your brother's name Hunter? And he was like, no. I was like, I guess you're not my soulmate. Yeah, and I was just like
then
joking
I'm
around.
sitting there, right? And I'm like, oh my God, wait, we drank Jaeger before we met them. And
No,
we
she
drank-
looked up. She looked up German words that mean hunter.
Yeah.
And then she came up to me, and I was like standing with Nemo and Simba, and I was like standing there, and she comes up to me, she goes, Molly, ask them what Jaeger means. So I was like, guys, what does Jaeger mean? And Nemo goes, hunter. And I look at Simba, and then he looks at me, and I'm like,
His jaw dropped. He was like this. He was like, I was like, oh my God, no fucking way. And then I remembered, I'm like, wait, there's a deer on the Jägermeister bottle.
Yeah.
Like, that makes sense.
and
I
not
just
even that, when
never
we were
put it
waiting for the
together.
Uber, the building across from us was called the Hunter Circle or something like that.
It was like it was like a Hunter
Yeah.
corporate or something like that. And I'm like, bro, this is way too fucking weird for
Yeah.
me. Like, this is insane.
I don't know if my soulmate's in Germany or not, but it was just
know.
a little
was, like-
crazy. Like everything
was.
clicked. Like the way it clicked, like everything she said, like it was just crazy.
It all clicked, and like the way that it happened, everything kind of just came together all at once, and we kept
Yeah.
noticing things one after the other after that, and we were like, holy shit, that's insane.
This guy literally put on his sunglasses just to stare at us.
Of course you're gonna stare back. I don't like staring, it makes me uncomfortable.
I just stare back.
But yeah, so that was intense. It was insane. It was intense.
Yeah, so then they left the next day and we were like really, really sad. I still talk to like Simba on Snapchat like here and there. But I do
don't-
miss them. We're gonna go to Germany to visit them because we were the best tour
Yeah,
guides, so
and
we expect
hopefully-
the same.
Hopefully Nemo told his girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm literally gonna be like, listen, if you don't tell her, I will. It's gonna be like a thriller movie.
That was so funny. But yeah, no, it was just like a good time. But basically, moral of the story was we kind of like saw what we can get. Like we saw like what we deserve. We saw like we don't want to settle anymore.
Exactly.
And we think that, I mean, at least for me, like I've realized that a lot of brown guys just don't know how to respect because they've been spoiled all their lives.
Yeah.
And like they don't know how to respect a woman. They don't know how to like treat someone. It's kind of just like, and a lot of guys like nowadays, especially like where I like, not, I don't want to say like where I come from, but like where we went to school, is that they have this like ego to them that like they're the shit. Like they're like gang, like they're the fucking shit. Like that's like, I'm sorry, but like that's the ego that they have. Like they're better than everyone else. And I feel like, I don't know, like I just saw how humble these guys were, and we just saw like the respect that we got and like what we like would deserve. And we're not settling anymore. So thank you to you three
Yeah, thank
beautiful looking men.
Literally, like, thank you to the Germans. We love you.
Yeah.
They honestly, even though it was like a fling and we knew it wasn't gonna go anywhere, the fact that it was a fling and they still treated us that way,
Yeah.
really like kind of made me realize like, holy fuck, if my man that I'm actually dating doesn't treat me like this, I don't want it.
Yeah.
I don't want him. Like, and I think it really comes down to like knowing what you're worth. And honestly, the culture that we grow up in, the men are held at a higher like pedestal than women, unfortunately.
I think that's
And-
what it is too.
Yeah, and it's like, you know, there's more room for men to fuck up than there is for women.
Yeah.
And I think that's like the pressure that we feel. And I think there's also that
It's like the woman has to do everything for the men and they expect it.
Exactly, and they
Like-
expect it, and that's the problem. And a lot of these moms raise their sons that way. They raise them to believe that women are there to serve them.
Yeah,
and I
to
don't,
be a housewife,
and
to
I
be a wife, to
don't-
take care of the
I don't
kids.
fuck with that. Absolutely not. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna do that. And I think that, you know, it kind of like, it sucks because obviously I would love to marry someone that's my same culture, my same ethnicity, and that because it would just be an easier transition. Like, we would understand each other a little
Yeah.
bit better. But at the same time, like, majority of the Indian men that I've met, they've all been so fucking disgusting. Like, grimy,
Yeah.
cringy. I'm like,
And like I feel like
excuse me?
okay, like I understand like there's a whole persona about how brown people, like Indian people in general, are just horny. Like, and
Yeah.
like I feel like that's like it's just like it's a thing. Like especially like men in India, they'll like look at you like up and down and like
It's
it's like
nasty.
gross. So it'll be like old Indian uncles that are like Like, come here.
Yeah, like catcalling. It's
Like-
disgusting.
like-
Like, they're like fucking hyper-sexual.
Yeah.
And it's gross.
And I feel like nowadays, like, especially the guys our generation, all they want to do is just have sex.
Yeah.
Like, fuck. Like, that's it.
And it's annoying because, like, I'm
Where
the
did the
type-
respect go?
Yeah, literally. Like, I'm not a piece of meat, you
Yeah.
fucking asshole. Like, well, how would you like it if I literally treated you like that? Like, shut up, don't talk, like, come here. You would
Yeah.
literally be like, excuse me, what?
Yeah, like sorry, like let me just tell you I'm gonna give you everything in the world, fuck you, and then be like, shit, you know, I'm not ready to be exclusive right now. Or I'm not
Literally.
ready to be in a
Like,
relationship.
No, they're fucking pigs, bro.
Yeah.
Honestly. But no.
And then
all
they
the-
go and touch your friends at bars. So,
Yep.
yeah.
So, anyways, yeah, and it's just like the standard, you know, like even sometimes like with my brother, obviously this is no fault of his. He is kind of spoiled, and I'm like, Mom.
No, I was just talking to my mom about it the other day. I was like, obviously, like my brother is like older. He knows his
Yeah.
shit. He knows what he has to do. But like, and he knows like if he needed to like make money, he'll know how to make that money. Like he's super, super smart. But he can't even take rice from the kitchen table. It's like, Mom, can you give me rice? It's right there. Take it. If I asked for rice, my mom would be like, Dad's shit, like.
Literally same. My brother was hungover. My mom kept going to his room every hour to rub Vicks on his head.
I was
"Mom,
hungover?"
when I was hungover, you literally looked at me and was like, that's what you get for drinking.
Yeah,
Like,
take an
what the-
Advil.
What the fuck? And then I was like, can you please make me something? I don't feel good. And she was like, you paid the price. And I'm like, oh. And then my brother's getting he's like, Mom.
Yeah, I'm dying. She's like, oh, my beer dog.
Yeah, literally.
I got you.
Literally. I'm like,
Matu
bro,
dabu.
literally, I'm like, dude, what the fuck? This is fucked up. But no, like, I'm telling her, I'm like, Mom, you can't do that. You need to raise him. No, but honestly, like, he's such a sweet kid.
No, so it's like my
He's-
brother. Like, even
yeah.
though he's spoiled, he
Yeah.
knows how to treat a woman
Yeah,
right.
that's same,
Like, he sims.
same.
He sims.
Yeah, same. Like, my brother is literally the sweetest guy ever, and I'm always sitting there, like, kind of jealous. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, whoever you date, I'm gonna be jealous because
Yeah.
you're such a nice guy. Like, yesterday, I got my period, right? And I was miserable. And I guess my mom, like, was kind of talking about how, like, I wasn't really up for going out or doing anything because I got my period and I had cramps. My brother comes home and he's like, oh, like, Didi, there's a Kit Kat in the fridge. Do you want me to get it for you? Like, do you want me to make you food?
Yeah.
He is so sweet. And I'm sitting there and I'm, like, emotional because I'm PMSing. I'm like, oh, fuck, dude. Like, I've never had a boyfriend like that.
Yeah, no.
And it's my own brother that's treating me like this. Like, my own brother can treat me like a queen. So can you.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
fucking ass. Honestly.
But yeah, so that was kind of just like the realization I came to. Like, she was always into white boys. But I just like, I think that like they're not even like white boys, but just in general, I feel like, again, like growing up in America, they're like the mannerisms are just different than people that grow up in Europe or like different countries. It's like they appreciate things more and they have respect for things more. That's just,
Yeah, and they don't have all of these, like, from what I could see, these roles, like the gender roles that, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, they're very respectful. And
even if they have the rules, I feel like they're
More
they're
respectful
more
about it.
like woke enough to realize that you have to look past those roles.
Yeah, and
now.
it doesn't
like it's a
define
different
you.
generation now.
Yeah. And, like, like, even in my own family, like, I've had experiences with, like, the men getting upset
Yeah.
because the woman was going out and
Mm-hmm.
hanging out with her friends and she didn't cook dinner. Like, if both of you, I'm sorry, but if both people are working,
Yeah.
I don't think one should expect the other to make food.
Yeah. If it was like, okay, you're a housewife, like
That's a little different.
yeah, and your
because the
man's
man-
making like the money, like he's
Yeah.
going out and he's working, and like you're doing nothing and you're just going out with your friends. Understandable. If the roles were reversed and the girl was making all the money and the guy was just sitting at home hanging out with his
Yeah.
friends and not doing anything, I would understand that.
Yeah.
But when you're both working and you both need that like separate life and like, you know, work life, friend
Mm-hmm.
life, family life, like they have to be more understanding.
Yeah, and it's like I feel like my mom has made a lot of sacrifices because of like this cultural standard that the woman has to take care of the family. Like, she just started going. Did I tell you my mom started going back to school?
Oh, really?
Yeah,
For what?
she's paralegal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she like gave up all of that to raise a family, so my
Mm-hmm.
dad can get his master's
Yeah.
and like his bachelor's and the master's, and like just looking at that, obviously, I'm not saying my dad's like an asshole for that. It's the way that he was raised, like the
Yeah.
cycle, like, oh, mom stays home even if she's working. Mom takes care of kids. Mom picks up the kids. She cooks dinner.
Yeah.
And my dad cooks. So, like, I'll give him credit for that. He's a really good cook. He cooks a lot. But, like, in that aspect, I kind of looked at that and I was like, I want to break the cycle.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be that wife that stays at home with the kids. Like, sure, if I want to stay at home with my kids, it'll be because I want to, not because I'm
Yeah.
expected to. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
And I think like men just have to realize like how much we sacrifice like
Yeah.
sometimes. Like first
With our
off,
bodies.
yeah, that's what I was just gonna say.
Holy
Like
shit.
first off, the amount of change a woman's body goes through when they get pregnant and after they have a baby.
Yeah.
That change, oh, you'll feel it. You'll feel it, and you're probably gonna get upset about it because you'll feel it. But we feel it more than you.
Yeah, literally.
And it's not even that. It's like every single month we bleed. We bleed every single month. We get cramps that I have seen guys on YouTube try
Doing
that
the-
cramp
yeah,
machine
the
and they
stimulator
cry.
thing. Yeah.
Honey, we go through that every fucking month for all of our lives.
yeah.
And I just feel like there needs to be more appreciation, and how women hormones work is much different than how men hormones work. Just how you guys were built, like, not to be able to cook and like not to be able to do all that. Like, we were built with these hormones that make our lives really fucking stressful. So
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Yeah, literally. And like I think that that's what we'll both look for in a guy, is like someone who doesn't see us as, you know,
A woman, equal.
Yeah, it's not like obviously I'm a woman. So,
Yes,
like,
yeah. No, like,
yeah.
like women
But, like,
roles.
yeah, like the roles. I don't want to be identified by the role that
Yeah.
women are expected to play. Like, look at me as an equal. I'm your partner, and I think that in every relationship, I don't even believe in 50-50. It should be 100% and 100%. Like, you both should put in your effort 100%. It shouldn't be me making all
Yeah.
the effort or you making all the effort. It needs to be equal on both sides. And I think that extends into, like, when you get married, too. And, like,
Yeah.
you know, if your man isn't treating you the way that you deserve to be treated when you're just dating, what makes you think that'll change when you get married and have kids?
Exactly. And not
If
even
anything,
that.
it'll get worse.
Yeah, and I just feel like a lot of men now, like when you bring this topic up to them, they're like, "Oh, you're like a feminist,"
Yeah.
and it's like, no, like yes, we could be feminists, like that's fine, but they have
fucking
this
equality.
persona of like, oh, feminists are like feminine crazy, like no, just how it has to be equal rights for women, it's equal rights for men as well. That's what a
Yeah.
feminist is. It's equality all around. It's not just women get this, women get that. No, it's both parties get both things.
Yeah, it's
like
equality.
yeah,
That's
so
all it is. And, you know, whoever I end up with, honestly, like, I pray to God
yeah, they have some sense.
that they have some sense to look at me because and look at me as like an equal, because I'm a dominant person, okay? Like, I see myself wearing the pants. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I see myself. Don't get me wrong, like, I like an assertive man, but I also am kind of controlling, and that's something that I feel like whoever I end up with, he'll kind of subdue that side of me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I need someone
Same,
to
yeah,
calm
same.
me.
I feel like we talked about this.
Yeah.
Like both of us, like that's what we were saying. Like we don't have the same type looks wise, but we both need a man who like
calls us out.
yeah calls us out, but not in like a respectful way where it's like, oh, we can't get upset at him either for like calling us out because we know he's right.
Yeah.
And like he's trying to make us a better person while like we're also trying to make him a better person.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah, and like I think every relationship is about like
Growing together.
and motivating each other to be better and
Mm-hmm.
do better. And I think that, you know, for both of us, we both have our little things that make us tick, right? Things that get under our skin. But I think that some of those things are definitely a little over, like, it's exaggerated. Like, there's no
Yeah.
need for us to react to some of the stuff we do. But that's why I feel like whatever guy we end up with, they'll balance that out.
Yeah.
They'll basically tell us, like, babe, you're being fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, sit
and
the
like
fuck
we
down.
we also like I also think we like realize that like these little things that do tick us off and like whatever give us the ick, like those are things that is what's making us picky with men.
Yeah.
And sometimes we like there's certain things that we compromise on, and there's certain things we don't now.
Yeah.
And like we have to get past that, like, you know, that like those certain things that do tick us
Yeah.
off. But when it comes to the point where it's like completely disrespectful and like just like toxic and like
Yeah.
that's like when we like draw a line.
Yeah, and we're just like absolutely not. And like when it comes to like Indian men, for me personally, I've had a lot of bad experiences. So I just, it's almost like trauma. Like I just see all of them like that, which isn't good. It's not, I need to like, fix that, but it's going to take time. Like it's just really frustrating because obviously I am Indian and I would love to be with someone who's Indian. But if you're not checking all the boxes, buddy, like, sorry.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go.
Seema
Absolutely
Auntie,
not.
where are you?
Literally, we need to go on Indian match.
Yeah, so I think we're gonna wrap up the episode here. I think we're gonna do another episode on like the story times of like the toxic brown men that we have experienced.
Yeah,
because I think that would be like very interesting. This kind of just got taken over by the Germans.
Yeah.
We love you guys.
We love you, Germans.
But yeah, so we're just gonna wrap it up here. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at brownie.banter. We post new episodes every single Monday at 9 p.m. And we post episodes on Spotify, which now I've learned how to get the video on Spotify as well.
Yes, it looks so dope.
Yeah, so definitely check out our Spotify, and we have a YouTube channel as well, Brownie Banter. So yeah, everything's linked in our bio and Instagram, and we'll see you guys next Monday.
Bye.
Bye.